Hi traders, thanks for joining again this week. This is Keshav from Surplus Forex with weekly analysis and forecast. As always, I'll start with USD Index and build from there for each pair, including Crude Oil and Gold. Once again, I'll also describe my entries, stop losses, and take profit for each trade I take. We'll run through what I call as USD Bucket and pairs listed here. The trading plan as uses finding and highlighting trends and support resistance levels on daily time frame and 4-hour time frame. I'll mark entries, stop losses, take profit targets at 4-hour chart. Make sure you make entries only upon confirmation after completion of the candle that crosses either support and resistance and our trend line where possible, keeping risk reward at ratio 1:2. This means when you cross first target by 20%, then move your stop loss to 1:1 and then wait for the second target for 1:2 reward. If the price does not move ahead by 20% in next 4-hour candle, then get out of the trade with 1:1 reward. Enter with confidence, do not fiddle with the trade, and also to improve yourself, always track your performance. So let's start and see what we expect for the week ahead to unfold for us. Let's start our weekly review and forecast for March 16 to March 20, 2020. So starting with the USD Index, on a daily time frame, we see that it's on an uptrend as of now for last 4 days. For the very first day of the previous week, it did drop, but then after that it's been climbing. I expect it to keep going forward as it's keep going north, as it's crossed the major resistance from 98.53, and it's crossed the downtrend line, the old trend line as well. At least it'll reach close to 99.50. That's what I see, at least 99.40 to 99.50 as shown here. And it might touch 99.97. Let's see on the 4-hour chart how I see it. On a 4-hour chart, if we can make an entry close to 98.78, then I'm making my first take profit at 99.29 and second at 99.87. Let's move on to the next one. So I keep my bias for USD Index positive, bullish for the coming week. For EURUSD on a daily time frame, we see that EURUSD on a daily time frame, it's been dropping, currently sitting close to 1.109695. It's sitting close to that, and I believe that it'll fall further. As of now, Forex crossed the downtrend line, and the previous resistance might turn that has turned support in the past as well. So this resistance, it's crossed at 111.71, and it's crossed the uptrend line as well. So I believe that it'll keep dropping. Let's see on 4-hour chart how it looks like. On a 4-hour chart, I'm taking my entry if it comes here, and my entry at a 110.72, right below 110.95. That's the old resistance come support. So I'm keeping my stop loss at 111.97 and making my first target at 110.05 and keeping my second target at 109.14. Talking about GBPUSD, British Pound US Dollar, last week showed a sharp downtrend. It also took over the old support at 125.88. Currently it's sitting at 122.72, beating the old support and resistance of 123.15. So it's clearly on a downtrend. I see further that it might bounce back. And GBPUSD on a 4-hour chart, I see that it could be I'm taking it as positive, though it will be hovering anywhere between 121 to 125 So I believe that's where it'll be hovering. So I'll be keeping my eyes open for making entries both ways on a GBPUSD. But as of now, so on a 4-hour chart, I'm taking my entry at 123.86, right above 123.15, not right above, so there's quite a gap out there, and keeping my stop loss close to 121.00. So and 125.49 is my first target, and I'm going up to 127.10 for my second target. Though I'm keeping this well below 127.43. I believe it might hover both ways, so if it drops further at 129.94, I'll be keeping my entry close to 120, close to 120.85, and I'll be keeping my stop loss close to 125.50, and keeping my target well below 121. So if it falls further, so I believe that it will hover somewhere between 125.80 and somewhere between 121 for the next week. For USDCAD on a daily time frame, it showed that USD went ballistic all the way north to touching 140, and now coming back. As of now, it's sitting close to 138.08, and I believe that it'll hover somewhere between again 140 and 136. It'll hover for this coming week. Let's see how I'm taking my entries here. So what I'm doing is that I'm having 137.07 as one break point. The support and this previous resistance turned support here, so this is the key entry, the key point where it might come down, and then it'll go back up and test this. If this crosses 138, 137.80, 137.90, then I'll make my entry close to 138.10, and keeping my first target at 139.22, 139.25. So and keeping my stop loss close to 136.66. But I see that it might drop back to USD dollar, might take a correction here against Canadian dollar. So in that case, if it drops back, checking close to 136.00, then I'll be waiting it to come back to 137.00, and I'll be making my entry at 136.70, that, and then keeping my target close to 135.20, and next target further down. So I believe that it's got good potential for hovering in a wide big range in the next coming week. So it's a good opportunity to make entries both ways. Next, checking on USDJPY on a daily time frame, we see that it's been very erratic pair movement on past week. It dropped quite a bit, and now it's recovered, sitting close to 107.88. So it's as of now, it's crossed the EMA, it's crossed the downtrend line, and it's crossed the sitting very close to the very solid support, old support of 107.88. For a 4-hour chart, how I'm making my entries, I fixed my entries here. So as soon as it crosses 108.70, I'm taking my entry 108.70. It should test close to here. It might come down, but it will test this 108.77, expecting USD to rise against JPY initially, and should go close to 110, and a bit above that. 124 is the previous resistance that I'm keeping my first target close to 110.02, having my entry at 108.77, keeping my stop loss at 107.18. But if I see that it's dropping below 105.93, obviously it will against JPY for the coming week. So in that case, what I'll do is that I'll keep my stop loss exactly here where it is, and I'm keeping my entry at 105.61, keeping my initial target of 104.78 and second target at 103.44. Both ways good to play most of the pair coming week. Let's start with the GBPUSD on a daily time frame. We see that last week it took a big drop all the way down to currently sitting at 60.80. Started from 63.55, showed a bit of bullish pull and then dropped back down here. On a 4-hour chart, let me move to 4-hour chart. I can show you as my bias on USD index is bullish, and I believe that as it's already crossed the old resistance and support of 60.90, so it's going to be bearish further, but it might take a pullback. So if it comes close to 62 and then it shows us a drop from here, a bearish candle down below this downtrend line, then I'll take an entry at 61.80, taking a first target at 61.09 and second target at 60.46, keeping my stop loss at 62.82. In a sense, what I'm finding that it might hover between 300 to 6,000 in total. So at the most it might go bullish up to 62.50, close to this point, and would most likely drop down to 6,000. Going for the next one, Aussie USD took a big hit, currently sitting at 61.81, which is the lowest in years. 61.81 as of now, and it's crossed all major support and resistances. The major one is 64.35 and started all the way from 66.75. On a 4-hour chart, I have also marked here 63.07 down below. I'm taking my entry at 62.85 if it crosses the downtrend line, same as GBPUSD. If it shows me a bearish candle here after the test of 6300, then I'll make my entry. I'll make my entry close to at 62.85, keeping my target at 61.92, keeping my stop loss at 64.53, right above the old support at 64.33. For USD Swiss franc on a daily time frame, last week it showed an uptrend. I believe that it will continue because it's broken the downtrend line that's close to a 94.25. It broke that. So I have taken an old support of 93.81 as my target point. Currently this one is sitting at 95.19. So let's see on a 4-hour chart how I'm taking it. On a 4-hour chart, 93.81 is the point from where it might come back, and then it'll start going above, hovering close to 95.20, 95.19. Once it closes, once it gives us an bullish candle going above 95.19, I'll take my bullish entry at 95.59, my first target close to 96.36, and my second target at 97.13. Keeping my stop loss at 94.33, quite above at 93.81. Next one, let's check is the sweet oil, the crude oil. It took a big fall, and currently it's sitting at 32.86 and dropped quite a big points, close to 42 it started, and it's crossed the resistance of 36.96, and it did touch close to 27 this week, past week. So let's check on the 4-hour that how I'm taking my entries. I'm taking my entries both ways. If you look carefully, there's a flag forming here. So this flag, because of this flag, it's giving opportunities both ways for, I suspect, it to come up, rise, make a correction here. For it was a big fall all the way. That's why I believe there should be a correction. It should be coming up, as well as because there's a standoff between Russia and Saudi Arabia. They want to drop the prices down to 25 as per the news. So I believe there will be downtrend we'll see next week as well, other than rising in the starting of the week and falling later in the week. So let's see on a 4-hour how I'm taking my entries. So on a 4-hour, I believe once it tests this 30 point, we should be able to make an entry on a bullish confirmation close to 37.27. We should be able to make an entry here, and then once it touches, we can take first target at 40.40 and second target at 43.10. If it touches a 40.40, I suspect if it doesn't cross this 41.38, if it crosses, it will touch 43.10 certainly, but if it does not, then it might start falling. If it starts falling, then we need to we have a very good entry point at 30.24. Below this, I mean below 30.24, we can make an entry at 29.44, and keeping our first target very close to the bottom of 27.31, and further the old support at 24.64, 24.65. So that'll be my take in here. I suspect it to rise in the starting days of the coming week, and then might fall further. That these both are good opportunities to take care of. Going to the next one is gold versus USD. So as my bias is bullish on USD, I suspect the gold to fall on a reverse section, but at the same time I believe that this was a good drop here. At the same time, it might take a correction, and it might eventually hover between 1500 all the way to 1650, close to 1650. So that's where I believe it'll hover. Let's see how I'm going to take my entries in here. So if it's my first entry is right above, close to, if it passes 1536 point and this downtrend line, I'm taking my entry at 1545, keeping my first target at 1577 and second target at 1623. Beautiful run, but I said that it might take a turn close to 1600 or 1585. So if it starts falling below that, then we'll be having good entry right below 1563. We can make an entry at 1556, taking first target at 1522 and second target at 1488. So I'm going both ways because my bias on USD index is bullish. So I believe that after touches 1600, it might start falling, and that'll be a good entry point. So this dashed line is a good entry point at there. Alright traders, that's all from me for this week. You can get analysis, entries and exits on more pair at surplusforex.com. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and share the video, and huge thanks to all the current participants who like, subscribe and share. For those who are new to Forex and now can get more information on trading Forex market from this book, I named it Forex Must-Haves, or by visiting website or surplusforex.com. I wish you all wonderful weekend and profitable trading in the week ahead, and see you next time.